to test. This is a deck I'm considering the most, though I don't know if I want Hazard's or Phoenix's main. Actually think the Hazard's slash Phoenix question is very metagame dependent. Like, I think Phoenix is better versus the green decks and stuff, whereas like Hazard's are a little better versus the mirror and things like that. Um, the only change I've made from this list than the last list is I added a third and license disintegration over to or the Crop Crasher. I didn't really like it. I really wanted to work in a third of Braid. There was a Star City list this week, and let's see if I can pull it up real quick. That is pretty similar to this list, though at this point I assume just most decks are similar to this list because, you know, Owen's the bomb. And in his list, shoot, what am I trying to say? He had removed the Crasher for something, and off the top of my head, for a third Glorybringer. That's what it is, which could be like pretty similar. Um, so they had like the full four Glorybringers post board, which was nice. And I thought about going with that route. He also cut Phoenix for another Magma Spray. I don't know if I'm into that right now, but um, also considered like, you know, so like this third and last disintegration could easily just be a third Zilscar Mage or like a third Glorybringer or something of that nature. I think I would be more inclined to make it a Glorybringer if I ended up going with Phoenixes in the 4 slot, but while we at least have Hazard in the 4 slot, I'd like to be able to Hazard it attack on turn 5 as often as possible. I know it's not going to turn 4 very often in this deck, like, that's going to be a cute little bonus, but I don't know. So I'm down to choosing between this deck and Mono Green Stompy, which is why in my last video you saw me play 2 different builds of Mono Green Stompy, or well, Black Green Stompy, whatever. Still Leaf Wolf Ass. That's what I'm going to call it. Snap Mulligan. Going to keep. I'm going to put that on top, and I'm not going to attack because I want it. Which feels horrible, by the way, but I really feel like to win this game it's important that these Chain Rollers come out on curve, and I just don't want to risk them not coming out on curve. And we're paired versus Storm, which is supposedly a good match, but our hand is horrendous, so we'll have to see. Should have just played the Mountain, but I don't actually think that affects anything in this match. Went 0-2 versus Storm when I was playing Stompy, another supposedly good match, so hopefully they don't have to rebuke. Most builds only play like 2 or 3. They seem to always have it versus me. Like, I literally can't remember the last time they did not have it versus me. Which is always a tilt. If they played Psy, I would unlicense Disintegration at this turn, but I really hope to get to play the Chain Roller. Don't know why I had to think so long on that. Feels like that was a pretty easy play. Guess I'm going to play this one. I'll play it pre-combat too. Not actually sure why, but I like pressing F6. It's one of my favorite things to press. So we have to bring in all 3 Duresses, both Doom Falls, and a Braid here, which doesn't suck. play this and attack. If he blocks, we'll cast a Chain Whirler. If he doesn't block, we'll play the Pia. Not sure why you'd cast that Ornithopter there if he wasn't going to block. So I assume he's going to block. But killing it doesn't hurt because of the paradoxical outstorms and stuff. Would love to draw on a Braid. Feels like our opponent's drawn every useful card in their deck, and we've drawn close to none. Well, we can't play 2 spells, so we might as well play this. We can make this attack next turn by sacking the Beaumont if we want. JK, doesn't matter. He's drawn his second Metallic Rebuke. Again, they typically don't run 4, so feels to me like they're running pretty hot so far. Especially considering they're a deck with like 18 lands to our million. Meh. They are missing the 2 important combo pieces so far, though. Can't imagine that's right. So as long as they don't have Inspiring Sanctuary, we pretty much win this game. I think they'd have already played it if they have it, so it's like basically this turn or they're dead. A Psy and like a couple artifacts could still be useful, I guess, but overall, I think they have to jump through some pretty good hoops to beat what we have. And they only have 2 cards left. Even if they have a paradoxical outcome, at this point they won't have enough lands to do anything. Second commit. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not enough. So we can do 6. Guess I like that better than I like casting the Chain Whirler because we can do 6 this way as well. And this gives us the Chain Whirler that can win the game. Next turn, so like say they have anything that, you know, like a Psy or something to gum up all the works, the Chain Whirler can just kill them. They only have 2 cards, so it literally, they have to draw Inspiring Sanctuary with that draw step or they're dead. They won't have enough cards to win in any other manner. Or, sorry, won't have enough mana to win in any other manner. So while they ran good to draw all the counter spells and stuff, they didn't draw the Sanctuary. Or, somebody, I keep calling it Sanctuary, it might be Statue. Let me go read what the card actually is called. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might actually just be Statue. Oh. It's a combination, it's Statuary. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what that card was called, but for some reason in my mind when I was just saying it wrong a million times, that I was like, hey, I should probably look this up. I've said that wrong a million times. I played this deck the other day and I'm still saying that wrong. It's kind of wild. Just your favorite illiterate redneck here, rocking and rolling. I feel like all of those cards are really good here. I don't know about these cards. Definitely don't want this. It kills Psy, but I'm not sure I'm that worried about killing Psy. I'm probably going to leave a couple unlicensed disintegrations in. I think I just want all the haste frets. Considering getting rid of these, they might be better than Soulscar Mage, though. Soulscar Mage doesn't seem very good here either, does it? If I just got rid of those and brought in these. A heck of a lot slower like this. Between glint, cranes, and stuff, this might be okay. Maybe I just want more 4-drops that can fly, but the 4-drops that can fly don't seem particularly great in front of, or across the table from Psy anyway. Let's try this. On the draw, I guess this is a keep. It's like pretty weak, especially if we never draw a black mana, but there's like 10 in the deck, I think. If we don't draw a third mana, we clearly just lose. Anticipate. I saw a build that had one Anticipate. I didn't understand it or like it. It might have been the build that won Dutch Nationals. Still don't understand it and or like it. Killing Psy feels like it's important enough to do this for. Because it sets up a lot of their mana. That Braid was a great draw. So next turn we can play double spell. Well, we're definitely going to double spell, so let's start with this. A bunch of mages here. Man, I'm not that worried about the mages. They're not going to do anything, so. The mages just don't really do anything. It's like just a really bad bounce effect. Who cares about that? Doesn't even attack through this. And we're really close to ultimating Chandra, so. Definitely casting this turn. I'm actually going to exert here just so we have a better chance to ultimate our Chandra. I feel like we just win if this Chandra ultimates. And we know one of the cards in their hand was the only card in their hand was a mage. So I can't think of anything they draw other than obviously like commits and brawls expertises that matter in this situation at all. Could have just not attacked. Left them both back and saw what happened, but I don't think that's worth it either. Let's snap that off. Hey Corey, what's up, man? Whoops. I meant to attack first, but I punted that pretty badly. So now we'll just cast this. Yeah, I meant to attack first there. That is my bad. For some reason, I want to cast a Pia and hold the Goblin Chain Roller for an additional turn. We know he still has an exclusionary mage in his hand, so there's just no way that that he has enough mana to do anything this turn. Even if he had drawn the Inspiring, he would have paid 3 mana for the Inspiring, then he would have played the Mage, then he would only have 1 card, and if that 1 card was even paradoxical, it wouldn't have been enough. Hey, Joe Zero, what is up? So we still, like I said, we still know this 1 card in his hand. We'll play that first, tick that up. Destroy this because it actually deals an additional damage to him. And so I can press F6. We're going to go ahead and play this too. And he's dead. Okay, he conceded. Alright, so we beat Storm. Like I said, I feel like these red-black decks beat Storm pretty easily. And we had a pretty suboptimal draw game 1. We did get a little lucky game 2 and like drawing a Braid on time, but it's going pretty well. Super tired, have a ton of work to do, but encouraged about our deck choice. Still not sure whether I should be playing Phoenix or Hazard overall in the meta, but I do like the ability to Hazard and prayer, as they say. It's the first time we beat Storm in a while, and it was like pretty trivial. One of my friends is wanting to build White Weenie tomorrow for our dual land event. He has gave me a list of cards to locate for him. Oh, that reminds me, I need to put my phone on charge. I have 0% battery power at the moment. And that is unacceptable. Let's go ahead and plug this bad boy up. Hello, Mistake. It amazes me that you're still legal and Rampaging Ferostodon is not. What are we looking at? Fanbear. Ooh. Been kind of wanting to see somebody play this card. This card beat the crap out of me in a pre-release. Oh god, the phone or the throne. Vivian Reed? You have a double green card in your sideboard? Can't keep this hand. Can keep this hand pretty easily. Second throne in your sideboard. Voice of Plenty. Snap it off. I'm actually going to keep that card too, I think. Well, I'm just going to play this and go ahead and cast this Soulscar Mage. A mirror copy of Craig Wesco's 2011's World deck. Yeah, so some kind of mirror match. Probably. Could still be like Grixis or whatever. Anyway, we're going to play our most impactful one because they don't always have the removal spell. So they have 3 cards in their hand and they have 7. It feels horrendous. Boom. Feels horrendous. How do you win, we say? I say I don't know. Draw an unlicensed disintegration for his blocker? That'd probably help. Oh, he doesn't have a blocker? Well, that gives us options then. We can just draw a land now. Untap land. I'll be specific. That's not an untap land. I kind of like, I feel really, really far behind. Unless Disintegration's such a swing and a mirror. We are playing 3 copies. Hmm. They're probably going to block the Beaumont, but they would take 8 down to 2. I'm fine with that. The Chandra is a lethal spell if we have it. If not, we have potentially 3 lethal attackers. Feels pretty strong to me. If they had even been at 3 life, I probably wouldn't have kept the Chandra. I would have probably just took 2 blind cards over it. Hey Dong, what's up? Alright, and there's our land. We have mismatching cards. We are the best. Hey! 5 little biddies from the Dong Man. Every time I say things like the Dong Man and stuff, I feel like I'm in the wrong line of the world. The Dong Man. The Dong Man. The Dong Man? It's gonna be my nickname when I start porn. Anyway, so versus the mirror, you always want to get rid of your X1s, and your Hardikurans aren't very good either. I typically think Chandras are bad. The sticky threats are very good here. The removal is very good here. I usually think these are good too. So, what one card do I want to cut then? Just like playing the full removal suite. I can probably cut one removal spell. It's just which removal spell do I want to cut? I think I'm gonna go with this one. I think Hour of Glory, because of Hazard's good enough to be in over a Braid. Alright, this hand's fine. We'll have to draw our mana at some point, but they've already mulliganed. Well, there's the mana. I thought this was a Chandra's defeat. My hand's a lot worse than I originally thought it was. Like, it's still not bad, but I thought it was a lot better when I thought that was a Chandra's defeat. Got me. I will cast the first spell for you to crush. They left in Chandra? Not a fan of that. Consider that card pretty bad in this match. Have we drawn a spell since our opening hand? I don't think we've drawn a spell in 4 turns. That's unfortunate. That means they probably have Chandra's Defeat. And Chandra's Defeat's a problem right now. No Chandra's Defeat. Problem averted. If we draw anything for 2 or less mana, the Hazard can party hardy. Alright, they missed a land drop last turn. But they had a Chandra last turn. So they couldn't draw the land and Glorybringer this turn. So therefore I am confused. Guess I'll just play this one. Their play makes no sense to me. I don't know why they didn't get the Glorybringer on the table last turn. Don't know why people insist on putting Karn in their deck. Hey Juka, what is up? Hope everything's going well. Now they're exerting? Well, I know you two are attacking Karn. I'm pretty sure you're just attacking face. And the only reason I'm attacking Karn with this is because he can make a blocker next turn anyway, and then they could have 2 blockers. But he can't attack next turn, so he's going to 12. So he has to draw something to be able to win from here with 1 draw step. Because we win on our next attack, and we win through a blocker because of the Glorybringer. So we'll have to see what he hits. And they have to hit runner, runner. Well, I guess they don't have to hit runner, runner. Oh, okay. They just attacked when they conceded it. Yeah, they probably would have to hit runner, runner to win next turn, because I would have exerted with this attack step if given a chance, and I wouldn't have attacked without it. Alright, well. Just got to win 1 out of the next 3 to get that pity chest back. 3-1 in the local draft the other day. That's the best I've ever done. Sure, I'll look at it, but keep in mind I am not a limited player, so I know very little about limited. I think Karn's very good in decks that have lots of artifacts. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in the end, like, the mono blue storm decks just have 4 Karns in the main deck, even. Like, that's something that wouldn't surprise me. But playing them in these decks, where, like, if he sideboards anything like me, he takes out his 4 Beaumonts and 2 of his hearts, so, like, then he's only got the Scrap Heap Scroungers. It just makes Karn seem really, really bad to me. If you were going to tell me I'm going to keep all 10 or 11 of my artifacts in every sideboarded game, then like maybe I would like Karn more. But I don't even like Chandra in that match, and Chandra obviously has to be better than Karn in that match. So you're black red. Ooh, Bog Stomper, baby. It's a big 6/5. It's the first hand we've not had to or first game 1 we've not had to mulligan. What's the rest of these cards? Doom Dissenter, Goblin Instigator. This is just like a really aggressive deck. I didn't even know there was a flash rat like that. So this is Storm again. And our draw's pretty heinous, especially for playing versus Storm. Abnormal Endurance. What are you? Oh, that's a cool card. Big trample, bro. Kind of have a dilemma this next turn. Do I want to play around Metallic Rebuke or not? Yeah, it seems like a pretty quick, aggressive deck. Wow, I didn't know Sky Scanner was a card either. So I could kill this just to get a threat in play. Not sure it's good enough to do that. I think the Braid's better later, especially if we're not going to draw lands. Like if they just have a counterspell, they just have a counterspell. Feel like they have a rebuke though? Guess they don't. Yay us. Yeah, I did not even know that was a card until I just read his list. Alright, so I'm pretty glad we kept this a Braid now. Now I really just want to hit another land so we can play 2 spells in a turn. I did not get my desired land. Attack first, that way they have to at least respect the pump. Let me pop that one back up. I know I had trample, but I'm not sure what the rest of the text was. Oh, the menace thing. Yeah, the art on that card is sweet too. That's one of my favorite things about that card. It's just the pure art on it. Opponent's doing a lot of stuff right now. Pretty sure I'm just going to attack again. If he blocks, I'll probably pump and play Heart as opposed to just casting the Chain Whirler. Don't know what the right play is. I think Chain Whirler just has value. I feel like we made the right decision, I guess. That certainly feels like the least impactful card for. Wow, that's kind of impressive. Another Abrade would be nice. Would also accept anything that we could cast there. So they have 3 cards left. We definitely have to get some kind of pressure on the table, so I guess I'm just attacking then. I kind of want to Unlicensed Disintegration this, but I don't see how we win if I do. So next turn, assume they play an outcome, bounce 3 things, play this for 2, play that, gain 5. Plus anything that they might have in their hand. Killing the Ornithopter does 3 damage to them and prevents them from gaining 3 life at least. I still just don't think it's better than playing the Scrap Heap Scrounger. We got really choked on lands this game. Can't deploy all of our spells. If they don't have a paradoxical and they don't have a Psi and they don't have an expertise, there's a good chance we just win next turn. But the odds of them having one of those spells are incredibly high. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not close to close. I'm going to offer to attack first. They only have one card left in their hand. Would have preferred to have a land, that way we could have got the Glorybringer, but they only have 2 cards in their hand, so outcome's going to gain them a bunch of life, especially if they hit another 0-drop or like a land and a 1-drop. Alright, so a land and we win. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A land and we would have won, but I guess their cards that they drew were bad and they just went ahead and scooped. That was not a land. So what that would have been 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would have only been 9. They'd have got another turn. That sucks, man. Alright, well, I think I want to sideboard similarly to how I did last game. Or I'm like pretty sure I at least want these 7 cards. And like the cards I take out become a lot harder. I don't think I want those. I kinda don't think I want these. I think I want it to be something like this. A little bit slower, but a little more controlling. I wonder if Phoenix is just better than Hazard in this match. Probably not. The Haste Claw seems relevant. This hand seems fine. Again, it's nothing special. I keep getting these hands that don't seem anything special, but then again, I am sideboarding out a lot of my 1s and 2s. Don't think this card's playable. And if it is playable, I don't even think it's good in this match. I'm not really an aggressive deck. And that's at most going to buy you like 1 turn in most cases. If my deck's doing what my deck's supposed to do, I don't think 1 turn ever matters. Let's go ahead and duress. I guess we're going to take the rebuke. I don't know if it's an advantage. Like I said, my hand's very bad. There's a glint, there's a land. The hand is very, very bad. And that starts to give the hand a little bit of power. So they've now gained 3 life. 1 Navigator's Compass would have done that, and is better in conjunction with what am I trying to say? With derp paradoxical outcomes and stuff. Cool, they drew another metallic rebuke. That's swell. We missed our land drop. Which was a problem. So none of our cards really do anything when we don't have lands. Wow. They have 2 cards and we kind of have to call them both to even have a chance. Feels like we've lost this game. Also feels like we'd won this game very easily if we just drawn lands. I wonder how many times I can say that before it gets old of hearing. Short. I like playing Moto more than MTGA. So we're in an agreement there, but... I think we've gone through 7 draw steps without drawing a land or something. 6, rather. I think we had 3 in our opening hand, didn't we? You know 3 of the cards in his hand, though, so as long as he doesn't draw another Paradoxical Outstorm, they just never matter. Advantage us. Not really. This stupid swamp's caused some issues too. If it was a mountain, we'd probably have killed one, if not both of these by now. Well, we'd have probably killed one. I don't want to exaggerate. I don't know why they're mathing. Because they could gain 27 life that turn or something. They just had it to go for it. I'm going to pass one time here because I really feel like they drew Paradoxical, and we're going to see if we can get lucky and gimp them. But we won't be able to. They'll gain a lot more life than they need to at this point. I guess they didn't draw it, and I'm wrong. Play errors abound. Really felt like they had it. Put a card on top of their library. If they didn't have it, they sure shit do now. I'm not sure any other cards you keep in this spot. Not sure any other card that's keepable in this spot than Outcome. Maybe Baral, but probably not even Baral. We kept this game relatively close considering we didn't draw our 4th land until turn 8. They kept a Prophetic Prism. They chose to keep a Prism? And then they just shut off. So I'm gonna kill their braid. Or kill their reservoir. They picked a good turn to shoot off, I guess. Hey, Shaolin, thank you for the 30 viewer host. Big hype. Oh no, I closed all my screens. I closed all my screens. Where did they all go? There we go. Everything is solved now. Thank you so much. Hey, Boot. What is up, my friend? Hope everything is going well for you. It's like a pretty free block on this, at least. So they should go down to 8 out our way here. Just got off work. Ooh, work. You ain't quit work yet? You should be a full-time streamer. Work sucks. I guess if you were a full-time streamer, you probably wouldn't be eating well or like traveling. So they just took an extra point of damage. I have not even saw the mono blue Colossus deck. Actually, I think I vaguely saw one once and I meant to play it, but like it went in, like I saw it and then like immediately forgot about it or something. Alright, well, looks like they drew the expertise. Not a bad draw here. You know, especially considering like we're still light on lands. I wonder what the other 2 cards in their hand is. They just seem to never do anything with them. What? How was that not already on the table? Oh, they bounced their own spell. Okay, that's how it wasn't already on the table. I'm such an idiot sometimes. There's nothing I can do to win this turn, is there? Even if I kill that, we just deal 5. Yeah, them being at 5 and them being at higher than 5 seems like the same thing to me. Or sorry, them being at 2 and them being at like 5 seem like the same thing to me. Oh gosh, you got me. Our lessons have been learned. You can still only play one thing? Wait, why does it say pay double red? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. That's why it says pay double red. I was like, why does it tell me to play double red? I just misclicked, though. And Storm deck's a lot of fun. I need to look at the mono blue Colossus deck, though. Alright, so 4-0 versus Storm this league. Do you have a link to it, Shaolin? I would definitely like to see it. Because it sounds sweet. Colossus is one of my favorite cards. I remember trying so many times to get Colossus to work around Kaladesh time. Like everybody wants to link. 5-0 lists, this week's or last week's. Alright, let's go exploring then while we wait on our queue. Metalwork, Colossus. Scroll down, recent decks. Oh, it's got 2 5-0s. From different people, too. The exact same 75. Glint, Size, Metalworks. I've saw basically that same shell, except for Metalworks, I've saw Karns. I don't know what this card is. Oh, yeah, I know what that card is. The highest converted mana among artifacts you can draw. It's just casual draw 11. We'll figure it out. One time draw 11. We got this. Power shards. Ooh, power shards and paradoxical engines. You can do some nutty things like that. Huh. I'm surprised. So they're not running the zero casting cost package. They're just going bigger. Full 20 lands. Looks neat. I'll favorite this. I've already promised that I was going to run a vampire deck sometime this weekend, so I might try this after the vampire deck. I've got a Bant Angels deck that I'm supposed to play for somebody as well. But quite honestly, I forgot to favorite it, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it again unless they send me another message on YouTube. I guess we keep this hand. Turn 2 removal spell, double chain whirler. Ooh. Alright, well, we don't need to turn 2 removal spell. We have turn 2 fun. Yeah, that deck looks sweet. Can't say anything bad about that deck. Boo. Alright, decision time. Do we allow them to draw 1 card? I'm going to say no. If it was just 1 card, I 100% I think I would let them draw it, but like, what if they just have a counter spell and then like the Goblin Chain Whirler got, didn't resolve or whatever, then they get another card, and that's too much risk, I think. I think that's too much risk. We did give up one of our key removal spells, though. For, like, Nicobolus if they play on curve. They put a Scarab God in their graveyard, so that's a bad sign. That probably means there's a Liliana coming next turn. And our life total is not nearly, or we're missing land, so we're not going to be able to fight through like a Liliana and them replaying the Scarab. Or they could just have another Scarab. It's a similar thing. If we'd had lands, it wouldn't be that bad. Take care, man. Thank you for the host, and thank you for the list. Don't like doing that. If we'd had 5 lands, if we just hit a land every turn this game, I think this game would have been trivial. We obviously did not. They don't have a removal spell, so at least in their graveyard, so at least that's good. Means even if they have the Gear Hulk, they're still going to take 9. Or sorry, still going to take 6. Rip. I guess they just have Fatal Push. Oh, they have Contempt. Contempt's even better. Alright, well, between the Heart of Kieran and the Murder Cut alone, we have 8 damage. Chandra makes it 10. To see what the last card is, then. Whirler Virtuoso. Not sure that changes anything for us. I think I'm going to use the mana here. I'm just going to play a bunch of things. gonna save my point of loyalty as well. Alright, well, that seemed to work out. They had a really good draw, too. They have murder in their main deck, by the way. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. Alright, so these matches are typically pretty hard. Typically, like, Soulscar mages kind of underperform here. I like the Hour of Glory in this type of match. I like the Doom Falls in this match. Cards that I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of Soulscar mages. I'm not a big fan of Heart of Kirans. They just have too many cheap answers that can kill this spell, and I don't like tying up two things. I'm trying to decide whether I want additional Phoenixes or like additional Glorybringers. I don't think so. I think we're just gonna run it like this. With them having Whirler Virtuoso in the deck, though, like I was thinking that like maybe I'm supposed to sideboard these out and put some of those more powerful spells in. Which is why I was pausing. And maybe I'm supposed to, I'm not sure. Yeah, keeping the Beaumont Couriers in, even though we got to deal 1 point of damage with it, is probably a large mistake. Yeah, I just don't like these Beaumont Couriers now that I think about it. Whirler Virtuoso is just too good versus them. And we don't really have any counterplay versus the Whirler Virtuoso. We don't have Lightning Strikes on this build. So, like, we're never going to get something on turn 2 where, like, we stop them from getting the Thopter. Like, they're always going to have access to a Thopter. I think I should have maybe played the Cannon Slew there. The Cannon Slew... I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'm going to play this one. Feel like they're going to at least have a Vraska's Contempt this turn. At worst. Hard for me to imagine that they don't have some kind of 4-mana spell here, so I'm just not going to play this Chandra. I'm fine with that. Yeah, but them not playing a 4-mana spell doesn't seem realistic, does it? Four random cards versus 3 random cards. Let's cycle one of these now. If it's a land, I may get rid of that. Alright, not a land, so we're going to get rid of that. A lot of these decks play up to 3 Essence Scatters now, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Pia doesn't resolve, but it's still the better play. Some of them play Hours of Devastation too, which we have another backup spell next turn, so we're not that upset if they do. Alright, well, we can start the turn by... Let's just go ahead and get rid of this. I feel like getting 3 guaranteed points of damage and like kind of like blanking their turn. Because that puts them at 6, so now they have to kill Chandra or have a counter spell for the Murder Cut. The Murder Cut can just beat them now. Like we can cut for 6 and they are at 6 is why I chose this line. We know the Scarab God alone does nothing. Alright. Well, let's play our last round. We've got at least locked up the 4-1. Still not 100% sure whether I want Phoenixes or Hazoret. The Hazorets have been like not very good this league. And I don't think the Phoenixes would have been much better this league. Maybe I just don't want 4-drops anymore. That has to be ludicrous. I don't want to play Hazoret or Phoenix in my red attack you deck. Yeah, that just sounds stupid. Obviously want one or the other, if not both. But like they've been so bad. Like they've just not done anything. The Chandras have been surprisingly absurd. Like in theory, they should be good. I like how every version of this deck I play 59 of the same main deck cards, and for some reason in my mind, the Heart of Kieran, Ancrop Crasher, Unlicensed Disintegration, Third Glorybringer, Third Soulscar Mage, like, all of those cards are just like a random flex slot in my head, which has to be wrong too. like, how do you come up with, like, that one card as a flex slot? It's going to change everything. But it's what my testings came up with. It seems crazy, don't it? Especially because Heart of Kieran is good versus so many decks right now. Hey, we've got back-to-back 4-1s locked up, and we might do a little better this time. Can't be sad. Feels like Teen Spirit. I've not checked my email in like 2 hours. Sorry. 1 hour and 56 minutes. That's a long time for me to not check my email. All the new offers. God. People do not want to pay that much for that card. Wow. How do I feel about this hand? On the draw, and they've mulliganed. We have a removal spell. Like a million 4-drops. I think it's a keep. Could get depressed very quickly with this draw. As we immediately draw what I will call one of the worst cards in our deck in this spot. Huh. Just gonna play this one. I think if they don't have history, it's a better play. They didn't play a spell on 4 or on 3 mana. What is in their hand? They didn't cycle that main phase when they clearly have 2 drops in their deck. That's weird to me as well. Alright, well, you'd think in 4 turns we could draw 1 land, but alas, we cannot. The beginning of the end for us. 1 time. Yay, we got there. It may not be good enough if they have a second Lyra, but I mean, it's not, we can't say no to it. We have to, in fact, be pretty excited that we got it. 1 time again, 1 more land. Not another land. Well, that causes problems. How do we win now? Because we couldn't draw our lands. I don't know that we can win now. If we hit our land next turn, like, maybe we're not dead, but we're, like, obviously in a really bad spot. They're going to gain 5 life, get a big friend. So we can draw 1 of 2 unlicensed disintegrations. I guess we can draw any of our braids, and all of those spells are good as well. What we can't draw is another non-land. That's a bit of a tilt. I think we were really far ahead that game. Feel like we want these as well. Feel like these aren't going to be very good in this match. I don't know if I want this a braid or not. I don't know if I want these a braids either. Thinking about cutting the Hazards here. You want to at least cut 1 of them. I think the Soulscar Mages are somewhat relevant. Yeah, maybe the Soulscar Mages just aren't relevant at all. Let's try this. Soulscar Mages just may not be relevant. 1 land again. Alright, well, we have to keep this one. Keeping a land. It's a good hand, but we've mulliganed on the play versus a deck that's pretty good at, like, gumming up the board. So I could see this very much not being good enough. Especially since we can't even cast a Goblin Chain Whirler with this particular hand. Like, we might not be able to beat a History of Benalla with this hand. That's a surprising card. There's a good chance that we just couldn't have beat a History this game. Also probably should have played this on 2 instead of this, in case we needed this from 3 for whatever reason. Interesting attack. I'm going to assume that means they have sweepers in their deck if they're making that attack. That attack kind of cries we have a sweeper. Well, we have to reveal their hand here and make sure it's not Settle. If it's Settle plus Fumigate, we're SOL. It is in fact Settle. Settle plus nothing. Well, that's good. They're down to 4. Another settle could be good enough. So we know they have these cards in their hand. A 2-drop plus Harvester wouldn't be enough. I think we've got game 2. Oh, well, there's a 2-drop. There's... Oh, they didn't play the Harvester? So they can only block 2 things no matter what now? I guess we just attack with them all then. We have this thing in our graveyard to finish the game, so... What's the best they can do? Like, block this, they still take 2? We could even make one of these not block with our Fopter if we wanted, but, like, the game's over, so it doesn't matter. We're just, like, going through the motions here. It's not the prime attack, or, like, not the most efficient attack, but I'm just trying to press as least buttons as possible because the game's 100% over. And they're tapped out. They can't do anything about it either. We could have made one of those not blocked, though, and got an additional damage in. If we needed it. Alright. The important game. So they showed us a bunch of artifacts game 2. So I definitely think I want to upgrade back. With that many artifacts... So we know they have Cast Out, Heart of Kieran, History of Benalia, Everspear Harvester. Is that enough to bring in Duress? Settled Wreckage. Is all of that enough to bring in Duress, or do we just like draw Duresses at random times and lose the game because of it? Kind of a hard call on that. Kind of a hard call. 25 lands. These are the cards I'm looking at the most right now. These Duresses plus Hazards. Still think Hazard's very good here. Kinda want the Duresses. These Duresses feel important. Don't know if they're important enough. Alright, we're just gonna submit. Black Red Control, go! One land again. Come on, deck. Not like this. Not like this deck. This hand was great too, but I guess most hands are going to look great when they have infinite spells. I'm not going to mulligan this, but we can't win with it. So we just kind of lost our 5-0 to double mana screw. I think we win game 1 if we just have our lands. I think we would have won this game if we just had 2 lands. This match feels like a pretty easy match, too. That's the part that's the most tilting about it. Like, this does not feel like a hard match. I'd rather Abrade a Resplendent Angel, so we're going to try to do that. And this match does not feel like it's something that would be hard. Maybe we'll draw our black mana and get to actually play. Yeah, Indiana, we're trying it. We're just testing. That doesn't bother me too much. I don't really have that many things for it. One time black mana? not a black mana. Well, one time, any mana in our deck? Nope. Any mana in our deck would have been good there. Is that enough to win? I think the game's over now. And we don't draw our land, so the game is in fact over now. That was a rough way to lose. We just didn't get to play Magic really game 1 or game 3. Game 2 was comically easy. It's a tilt to lose a 5-0 like that. Like, get paired versus a match that I feel is pretty close to a bye and just not get to play our spells. But I won't complain. We got a 4-1. That's good enough. Deck felt great. I can't say anything good and or bad about it. Like, I still don't know if Hazard's better than Rekindling Phoenix, which is what I was trying to figure out with this league. I come no closer to figuring it out than before. But besides like whether I want 3 Phoenixes or 3 Hazards in the main, I don't think I would change a card. I've not really looked at Squee enough to know. Yeah, pretty big fan of this build. Anyway, so that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the big host Shaolin. Thank you for the 5 little biddies dong. We're going to find us somebody to host, and we're going to go sleeve this deck, I think. Pretty sure I've decided this is what I'm playing tomorrow. Who can I host? Brad's the only person. Nobody that I watch is playing Standard. That's always frustrating. So let's go find somebody that I don't watch that's playing Standard. 1-year stream anniversary. I've never even saw you online before. Neat. Grixis mid-range in competitive leagues. Alright. I found a Standard player. I have never watched them before. I do not know the quality of their stream, so I apologize if they're not great. But it is a Standard player, and I like to host Standard players. Take care, everybody, and thanks so much.